vice president, the governors, and even the deputy governors. So, guys, I wonder who the target is at this time. Let me allow you to take a look at how Arise crew members have analyzed this. Take a look for yourself.
As a bill seeking to remove the immunity conferred on the Vice President, governors and their deputies has passed for second reading in the House of Representatives. The constitutional amendment bill, sponsored by Honourable Solomon Bob, was passed at plenary yesterday. Leading the debate, Bob said Section 308 of the 1999 Constitution conferred immunity on the President, Vice President, governors and their deputies, exempting them from criminal and civil prosecution while in office. The lawmaker stated that the bill sought to alter the Constitution to remove the immunity conferred on the Vice President, except when acting as President, state governors and their deputies, and to qualify the immunity conferred on the President. Proponents argue that this move will curb impunity, deter corruption, and ensure that public officials remain accountable for their actions. Another landmark bill proposes the separation of the offices of Attorney General from those of the Minister and Commissioners for Justice, with the aim to insulate the office of the Attorney General from political influence. Another bill is to grant citizenship rights to foreign spouses of Nigerian women. Several bills on the table, so many discussions to be had, leading with, of course, a discussion around the removal of immunity for Vice President, governors and their deputies. Rufai, over to you.
I mean, very welcome development. I hope it passes till the end. I hope unforeseen forces does not force it out. I made a quick search this morning to see many developed countries of the world that do not have immunity for their leaders. And I think we should not even stop at this point. We should go up to the president. United States does not explicitly grant immunity to the president for criminal acts. United Kingdom, the UK, lacking the codified constitution, does not explicitly have immunity clause for its prime minister. Germany grants immunity to the federal presidents only for a duration of their term, which is largely ceremonial anyway, but the real people in charge, the chancellor, head of government, enjoys no explicit constitutional immunity. France grants the president immunity from prosecution during the term for acts related to official duties. This protection ends upon leaving office. So, across the board, 3 of the 4 biggest nations and big economies do not have express immunity for the president. Why can't we have the same in Nigeria? Because this immunity clause has shielded all these political office holders from prosecution while they go ahead doing their shenanigans. In fact, I recall a case in 2015 or 2015-2016 period when the leader of the Senate president then, was being persecuted and he had to face Code of Conduct Bureau. I think somebody admitted the idea that you should even have immunity for Senate president. I'm like, no, that should not be the case. Because they are political office holders does not mean they should not be held accountable. Because the reign of democracy, like I said yesterday, has now become a reign of the criminals in our country, sadly so. These are people that are running away from prosecution in so many ways. These are the bad lawyers from other climes that are coming to do politics in our climb. And to be able to articulate my words, somebody sent me something very profound yesterday, and I have to read it out. It was a quote by Plato. By Socrates, beg your pardon. And Socrates was very apt in that quote as regards what is happening to our political class today. And that's why I totally support this bill if it can pass. Where he was talking about the fact that criminals will want leadership positions and democracy will give it to them. Scoundrels will want leadership positions and democracy will give it to them. And it will get to a point that their own reign of impunity will be more than dictators. Secondly, I want to talk about that local government bill. It was something President Tinubu had fought for, to be able to rationalize and ratify those 37 local LCDAs. So I'm happy it's finally getting the chance, because I have always argued for the economic importance of Lagos. Lagos should be allowed to have more local government. Then President Olusegun Obasanjo never believed in it, fought now President Tinubu so much, and then we sided with President Tinubu, we supported him on that. Because the argument has always been, if some other parts of this country can have as many local governments, why can't Lagos have the same? With the economic importance of what Lagos brings to the country. So I'm totally in support of that. I yield the floor.
Okay. I seem to have a slightly different opinion on some of the key issues. First, Section 308. The intention of the framers of the Constitution is to ensure stability. And that Section 308 of the 1999 Constitution says that the persons occupying the positions of president, vice president, and governors, and I think it's extended to their deputies, shall not be, arrested or taken to court, forced to appear